Good day, everyone, and welcome back to our series on Hearts of Iron 4. In this episode, episode 3, we will be continuing on with our fight for re-establishing Mother Russia, and we are in fact, or have in fact deployed volunteers in Spain fighting for the Republican cause. Now, just before we start off on our wonderful ideological campaign in Spain to liberate the masses from the oppression of the bourgeoisie, I have in the meantime, since episode 2, been having a look at the map and having some discussions with my friend Joseph about future plans for Mother Russia. And we had started out with our most important plan, which is the defense of the motherland against the invaders, which we expect to come from the west over here. And we're starting off with our line and forming up our armies in the build-up for the Great War that is coming. But in the meantime, we have some opportunities to help those oppressed masses that are around Mother Russia to feel the liberation and freedom provided by communism. And one of them is our friend up here, Finland. And if you have a look at Finland, we have a few resources up here, not a lot, but we do end up significantly placed next to Sweden, which has some very interesting resources here. And in particular, Joseph and I have been looking at this one, tungsten. Tungsten is very important, and as you can see from the extracted amount we have here, not in big supply in our country. Not in big supply at all. So that's quite interesting for us. And also, speaking to Joseph, we had a little look down here at our neighbours in Iran, and the oppressed masses are crying out to have their oil liberated, themselves liberated from the oppressive yoke of the capitalists. So when we've done a little bit of work in Spain to get some of our troops some more experience and get our generals some more experience, I think we should look with compassion on our neighbours in Iran and Finland and see if we can't help them shake off the yoke of oppression that they've been suffering for so many years. So that's a small change, and what we'll do is we'll move our units off their defensive lines and bring them into this great crusade to bring freedom to our neighbours, which is all for the good. So that is a new direction for the Soviet Union at this time. But in the meantime, we are here in the maelstrom of Spanish Civil War. So let's get the game going. And we are going to send our troops in with General Zakharov and make a name for ourselves and get some experience in the meantime. So we will use a cunning and devious plan, which is like so, and attack this area here from two fronts, this one, and that should give us a bonus, but certainly at least more experience. Now let's just go back over. We have the modify government. Okay, number one modification. We are going from civilian economy, which is very bad for us, 35% consumer goods from factories, and construction speed for civilian and military factories at -30. So we're going to jump straight up here to war economy. Consumer goods goes down to 20%. And military factory construction speed is plus 20. So that's a 50% bonus right there. And as far as civilian factories are concerned, it goes from minus 30 to 0, which is still an improvement for us. So that's going to be our first idea that we're getting right there. Our second idea is not going to be rocket scientist. It's going to be straight over here for the captain of industry. Civilian factories plus 10, infrastructure plus 10, and refineries plus 10. That's going to be our next one in that area. So we're off, and our troops are engaged and fighting. In the meantime, while they're building up a reputation and name for themselves, let's just check out our builds. Civilian factories are going nicely, and then we move into civilian and military, which is the way forward. In research, construction, mechanical, computing, and synthetic oil experiment. Now, it's worth noting that we do have oil here in reasonable quantity. And even if we take Iran, we're going to be fine for oil. But what we are going to lack is rubber. And later on in the game, tungsten. So those two are going to be key for the Soviet Union in our great march to progress and liberty for everyone. So troops are doing well down here. Let's just have a look at things for a second. How's Georgie doing? Hasn't got any benefit yet, but it will start to accrue soon. Now we've got Lend-Lease going to Republic and Spain. We have priority on reinforcements and low on upgrades, so that's good as well. And our army experience so far is up to 31.13. Okay, logistics-wise, infantry equipment is still like 14,000 pieces behind, and light tanks are still suffering. Artillery is doing okay. We actually won't start building new units until we get way past 0, maybe up to a few thousand of infantry equipment. And then we'll head into building new units for our great land army. Okay, going well there. Now, where were we up to? Let's just check the army. I believe everyone is assigned. Very good. We have Navy. What are you doing? You are operational. Okay, that's fine, because you're our main fleet. And where is our air? Except for Vladivostok, all our air is in Moscow, which is pretty much where we want it. So let's just move our air from Vladivostok to Moscow, and then we'll... That's the Great Steppe. But where's the Great Moscow? There it is. No, not Great Moscow. Where am I looking? Hang on. I am confused. I'm over here. That's better. Right. From Vladivostok to Moscow. Oh, it's already on its way. Fine. Good. Okay. We shall just wait a moment for that. Meanwhile, we will return to the fight. And we are winning on this front. Excellent. I think we can put the speed up now while we go ahead with this. And it's all going according to Hoyle, as it were. We're going to have a while to go before we get through our civilian factories, but that's going to give us the boost that we need. to continue with a good deal of production. So I think we can even go up to 3. We're only halfway through 36. So towards... actually, that's a good question. When we start working on our claims against Iran and Finland for the liberation of our fellow workers, we are going to need at least probably 200 to 300 days. So we want to be well on the way with that invasion if we can by the end of 37. So let's just bring this down for a minute. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. We'll slow it down, not stop it. And we're going to try a bit of encirclement magic here by doing that. See if we can cut this unit off here and then eliminate them, which is better for us than driving units back. It's actually better to have them eliminated so they're out of the fight altogether. Then, of course, if they're rebuilt, if they can be rebuilt in time to enter the war, their training level, or experience level, I should say, will be very low, and we'll have an advantage over them in that way as well. So we'll do that, and chugging along very nicely. Thank you. Let's just wander over here. Go and have a look at our fronts, and we may start organizing things here ready for the attack. Okay, we've got basically, and he's a level 3 from memory. Malinovsky, where are you, General Malinovsky? Oh, you're a level 1. Okay, we might need to restructure this very soon. But okay, we need to start getting ready for our attack for the liberation of our comrades in Iran. But in the meantime, let's just keep working along here. Basic machine tools plus 10% efficiency on cap. Very early on in the game, this is the sort of stuff we're looking for. This is important because rubber is going to be of a critical issue to us. And I'd much rather be building the rubber than giving away our civilian factories in exchange for it from overseas. So we've got 2 borders here. I think our approach to Tehran, or Iran I should say, will be to attack on 2 fronts, take Tehran, and then move down towards the coast here. This will give us very nicely an entry into a very warm water port and access for us down here. I don't think we'll be moving navies into here, though, at this stage. We've got some more important things to be doing up here in preparation for our 2 most likely enemies. The first one being the German Reich, and of course, the second one being the Empire of Japan. So let's start putting together an army. And I'm just going through some of the units here. And I think this is what we will do. We will have a combination army on the right coming down, which will be half. About 8 cavalry and 8 infantry units. Oops, hang on. We are being distracted at the moment. Stalin Constitution. We're going to go straight down here. We get -5 for research, which is good for us. We get a 3% recruitable population, which is great for us. and we get an extra research slot. So this is our focus until it's finished. And then we have a political advisor, our plus 10%, captain of industry, Nikolai Voznesensky. Hopefully I'm going to pronounce some of these names and places correctly. So that's for the good. All right, so here we go. We're going to go 10 cavalry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's 10 cavalry there. So I don't even have to do that. Okay, and we're going to add 10 infantry to that. But regular infantry, not NKVD infantry. Which you are not there, but you are there. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. You will go over here. Thank you very much. You will be replaced because you are not one of the better field marshals we have. I am going to replace you with Nikolai Batutin. And we are going to position you on this border with Iran. Just make sure we've got no borders standing, and we're going to put you right there on that border. Seriously, I hate it when I do that. And get rid of all of that. Do that again. Make sure everybody comes down. Thank you. Yes, much better. Right. We'll do that. And then on this front here, what have we got? We've got 13. I think I will just add some regular infantry to this. So take it up to 20 again so that the forces are matched. So 7. 7, 7, 2, 7. Very good. We will cancel all your orders. Malinovsky, I think I saw you were a 1. Malinovsky. Yes, you're a 1. I think we would like to have Kirill Meretkov in there. Kirill is another one of the generals that I quite like to promote to Field Marshal at some point during the war effort, because they bring much better value, with the exception of Rofeskovsky, whose name I can't pronounce. Let's go and look him up. Rokossovsky, Konstantin Rokossovsky, who is quite good, actually. He's also a good one, but Mikhail Tukachevsky is also pretty good. So they're basically the 4 that I keep an eye on for Field Marshal ranks. Okay, so we are going to put our, let's call them our Western Arm and our Eastern Arm for the time being in, oh, sorry, not there, there, in what we will call the Iranian theatre. Very good. So we have them organized. So we have an Iranian theatre. So that's good. They will actually be the attacking force into Iran. And then we need to give some thought to moving into Finland. Now, strategically, I'd rather not have both a war in Iran and a war in Finland at the same time. if we need to pull troops around to add extra punch to what we're doing down there, we don't want our resources strained by fighting on 2 fronts simultaneously. We don't need to worry about fighting on 3 fronts, because the minute we go to war with somebody, our volunteers in Spain will come home. So that is fine. And I'm thinking that what we'll do is we'll use our volunteers from Spain when they return and we're fighting down here. We'll either set them up ready to go into Finland, or we'll use them as additional troops down here. One of the issues we have, of course, in Iran is the infrastructure is so low that tanks run out of supply and armored units run out of supply so quickly down here that it's actually not even worth using them in this time. So we won't be deploying our tanks down in the Iranian theatre. So we should probably head back over to Spain and see what's happening. And we got ourselves in a bit of trouble. So we need to cut this guy off. So what we will do is we'll take out these 2 and leave them there for defensive units while the 3 of them attack this guy. And then we'll have this guy cut off and we can eliminate him, which was the original plan. We are now building 3 tiers, or 3 lines, if you like, of factories. So that is good, and it's going along pretty well, I would have said. And Italy has got Ethiopia. Comrades, we need to be so careful of the fascist menace that is growing in our west. Not to mention the imperialist Japanese, which are looking quite menacing in our east. So we need to be mindful that the world is a dangerous place for the liberty that we want to bring to the peoples of the world. And so far, we're doing pretty good. Okay. I think what we might do is just speed this up a tad. Let's go up to 4, because at this stage, really what's going on is... Hang on, what's happened here? Why have we stopped fighting? Continue fighting. Thank you, very good. All right, hold on. Slow that down a bit. That's even too fast for glorious armies of Mother Russia. Okay. Oh, he's gone already. Okay, fine. All right, let's continue with the glorious march. And I think we will aim for Zaragoza for our comrades who are fighting for the freedom of Republican Spain. And we will use you to support that attack, because we can. That's all good. Experience is coming up for our units. Organisation is pretty good, except for him. And equipment supply is fine. Okay, doing well. Carry on, men. It's all good. All right, now I think we shall liberate Zaragoza. Maybe, if we can get our units in there. Excellent. How's General Zakharov doing? Starting to bring up some skill levels there. Hill fighter's a good one, already up to 56%. That's quite useful. There we go, all good. Okay. Up to 48. Pretty good going. You know what? Let's just punch on through, boys. Whoops. Sure, we can do that. we've got these. If we take that hex there, then we've got these guys cut off. Oh, that wasn't nice. They did to us what we were trying to do to them. All right, that means war. Okay, fine. I think they're cut off. And because they are cut off, we need to bring them to an end. One thing I have noticed about the AI is it seems to take them a long time to eliminate surrounded units. So they tend to cut the units off, surround them with a whole pile of units, and then take forever to get rid of them. And meanwhile, they've weakened their other line because they'll have so many units surrounding basically one or two. Oh, see, and we lost it there because they broke through. Very disappointing. Okay, let's just go and do this. 82. We'll cut these. We'll take these 2 units out and have them come in from another hex. I still call them hexes because that's what they were in the old days. So that unit's going to be eliminated, and we will chug along very nicely. How are we doing? We're down to 7,006 now. Good. Not building any unit. Fine. And we're still waiting to fill up some of our initial factory allocations down here. So that is all good, because as we get down to here, if we haven't started building military factories by the end of 36, we will in fact add them to the build queues here so that they are definitely included. We need to be getting on with building ourselves up. Okay, so that's all good. So let us go, and our organisation is good, so we can continue fighting. And we will aim to cut these guys off across here and help push Republican Spain to an outstanding victory. Okay, that's all going very well. Let's just go back over here. That will go on fine, I think, without us for a wee minute. Let's just go back over here and have a look at Finland, which I think we want to start getting ready to deploy in. Oh, positive heroism. Yes, we'll take some more, thank you. The progress cult, -5 to research, which will be good. So, oh, it's all happening down there, isn't it? Okay. Excavation is 186 days. Oops. Oh, we can't do that till next year anyway, so we'll go with excavation. Okay. I think we're going to take our first Western army and assign one of our better generals. These guys are going to be our armoured guys, so we don't want to bring them out. But in terms of who's going to be fighting, it's, you know, there's very little in it. Every time I see Gorbatov, I always think of Gorbachev. But I'm going to take Markian Popov and put him up here in Leningrad in preparation for the assault into Finland. And we'll just put him across these two. So he'll be good there. And then our second unit, which is Govorov. Now, General Leonid Govorov is not found. Where is General Govorov? Why can't I see Govorov? Govorov, there he is. He's a 3. Yeah, he's quite good actually. So he's got 12 units. So oh, you know what we didn't do either? We didn't. No, we didn't, did we? Okay, we're going to take General Govorov and we're going to remove the fallback line because we're going to have to redeploy them after the war anyway. And he's 12, so I'm going to put him in for a front of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For no other reason but that he'll have the punch to get through the Finnish defensive line. And we will move General Popov back here because we didn't remove his original deployment anyway. Okay, now we have some more political power to spend. Now, in terms of political advisors, none of these actually give us that much of a benefit, quite frankly. So I'm going to start spending my money down here to get the benefits from this area. And here is the first one. We get a benefit for industrial research or electronic research. And I'm going to take the electronic research because speeding that up can be beneficial because it is the electronics that give us the benefit of the computing machines which decrease our research time. And the sooner we get those done, the better we are. So that is an overall bonus. So we're going to take electronics to get that bonus as we go along. So we've got 2. Now we need to keep the line going up. So we're going to fix this first. We're going to do our computing machine, which has been developed, and basic machine tools as well. Hang on, let's just pause that for a second. We could go with a radio, or we could start developing some of the other infrastructure and resources that we need. So I'm going to go with spreading the love for a minute. And I tend to go operational integrity when I do Air Force. So we'll stay with that for this game. And then over here, I think we really only need one now. One application going on over here. We've got air doctrine going on. We should start with land. Now, Russia actually starts with the mass assault doctrine, but I am not a fan of mass assault. No matter who I play, unless of course it's Germany, and Germany goes for the mobile warfare, I quite like superior firepower doctrine. I'm a big fan of artillery, and I think it's the way to go. So I normally will go down this tree for research when I do that sort of thing. But that's where we're at there, and we were just about to do number 3, and he needs a general. Actually, I think we'll just go on with the 1 here. He needs a general. So I'm going to go with another good friend of mine, whose name I have no chance of pronouncing correctly, Nikandra Chibisov. And we're going to put him up here above this unit. 4. I think we'll probably do 6 again to make sure he's got enough punch to either hold or break through the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we will need 1 more just to hold the north so that they don't come wandering out and go and hurt our naval base at Murmansk. But that is importantio for us, comrade. Right. Back to our Spanish volunteers who are in trouble. Well, you know what? I think this is an easy fix. We just need to break out. And we're up to 60 experience points. So we're going to have our first breakout operation. And possibly even stay a little bit more focused on what our Spanish volunteers are doing. So we don't get caught again by being surrounded, which is literally what happened to us. Okay. If in doubt, attack. Put the speed back up again. Because I literally don't think we're going to have a problem fighting our way back to supply lines now. Okay. There's some interdiction going on. Actually, you know what? Let us just put you 2 guys in there and we'll advance with the other 3. You hold that position and we'll go in and get the supply lines up. There you go. We have supply lines. Very good. And now, I think we owe it to ourselves to cause them some pain. And we're going to increase our hill fighting by doing this, because we're now up to 62, so that's going fairly well. And we've got supply going through to these guys, so that's all good. Even though it says we're low. Why are we low? Oh, they cut us off again. All right. Well, we're going to have to do something about this. This whole being cut off thing's not acceptable. Let's go and open up another front down here. Good effort, nationalist Spain, but not good enough. I think what we'll do, we'll just get our guys out of trouble here with re-establishing the supply lines. And then we're 38 minutes, almost 39 minutes into the episode. I think it's a good place to call it. So we are... Actually, you know what? We'll never let an opportunity to encircle the enemy go by. Excellent plan. So let's just encircle the enemy. Arr! That's my Russian pirate voice. Arr, Jim lad. And then we'll call the episode. Having acquitted ourselves very well. Ah, really? They cut us off again. They're just horrible people. All right, we'll complete that move for that division, and then we will call it. right at this very point. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, or me, I should say. Well, actually, not just me. It's Joseph and I for our expansion of Mother Russia with new plans for the future to help liberate the oppressed peoples of the world and make Mother Russia great once more. So I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. If you enjoyed this one, please press the like button. And if you feel so inclined, join us in our fight for freedom and liberation by subscribing to the channel. And until next time, bye for now.